Yeah, we're going to find out what they're doing here in Game 3 because it's getting underway right now. Powder versus ErA. Powder has got himself on match point for 3 straight games, and if ErA's going to win, he needs 3 straight.
It looks like he's just going to run it back again, and Powder's going to give him a taste of his own medicine here, it looks like.
Yeah, Powder is queuing up a...
It could be Mech Mage.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously Mech Mage. He's got a Snow Chugger in his hand. I mean, that card is not found in any other strategies.
Hey, man, he could just be playing Tempo Snow Chugger.
It could be. Maybe he just wants a Chugga Chugga.
Yeah, let's say Chugga Chugga. Chugga is love, Chugga is life. I love this card. It's one of my favorite cards in the whole game.
Well, pretty darn slow start from Powder. Got a couple of 2-drops here, but ErA, I mean, once again, ErA's got a fistful of burn spells in his hand.
Yeah, he's got this Arcane Missiles, this Frostbolt, this Fireball, but they're going to be a little bit better in this game. This Arcane Missiles and this Frostbolt, they're going to be able to do some damage on these minions that are going forward.
Powder just going to forego his 2-drop, use Hero Power here instead. Doesn't want his minions to be
Big
threatened.
draw there for ErA.
Yeah, super important one right now. And how does he actually do this? I mean, the fact that he hasn't seen anything from Powder yet, I think he's reluctant to use his burn spell straight away because he wants to figure out a little bit more of what Powder's doing.
Yeah, now Powder's trying to figure out a way to get this Goblin Blast Mage off next turn, but there really isn't a safe way. If he runs out of Snow Chugga, it's very possible that he just gets either eaten by the Sorcerer's Apprentice, or he does something to get, ooh, this is going to be a good
This
turn
is
here
really
for ErA.
ErA's window of opportunity to make something happen. He's going to start with Arcane Intellect, picks up Mana Worm.
This is going to be a huge turn.
This is the start that ErA was looking for with this
Jeez.
deck. Massive starts, unstable portal going to be added to this. Mirror Image going to be on the board to protect things. It looks like he got a bad one though, according to his reaction. Secret Keeper going to be what he got. You know, it's actually not the worst
bad
here
in this,
because yeah, because Powder's got the Mirror Entity in his hand. And so he's going to add Secret Keeper to this board. Is he going to trade off with his Mad Scientist, or is he just going to let it rip?
No, there's no way you trade off. You just rip it from here.
Yeah,
you have a
protect.
Fireball, a Frostbolt, and Arcane Missiles in your hand, you just go.
Yeah, Powder does have some ways to answer this, though. He's going to have Snow Chugger hit the board and then Frostbolt to take care of this Mana Worm. Mana Worm's so threatening in this spot. And now ErA, once again, you know, this board has been a little bit stifled to this point. Picks up a second unstable East Portal.
Oh, let's spin the wheel one more time.
That one's a little bit better.
Yeah, do you think he makes a 5-2 here, or do you think he makes a 2-5 against this board?
That's a good question. You know, it depends on how aggressive he thinks he needs to be in this match. That's actually a really interesting point that you bring up. I mean, it will get picked off if Powder wants to invest hero powers, but that's going to mess with his tempo as well. I mean, does ErA feel like he has enough damage to start ending this? Going to make a 2-5 here instead. I believe this is a lot safer. The Druid bug between the choose one continues to haunt us regardless of what the spectator client wants from us. Arcane Missiles.
We just can't get away from the Druid
It's
stuff.
impossible. So Arcane Missiles is going to take out this Mad Scientist.
There, yeah.
And that Mirror Entity, it's going to be sitting on the board for a while. ErA's got no actual minions in his hand, just a fistful of burn. And Powder's got to do something about this board pressure.
Yeah, picking up a second Fireball, not really where he wanted to be from here. You're going to see him actually just trade here with this Fireball.
I'm going to Fireball this Druid of the Flame. But 4 points of damage a turn now for ErA, plus the hero power. You know, anything that he picks up is going to be good for this. And I don't think that burn spells right now are that bad because he's closing in on a win very soon.
Yeah, and he's playing against what looks like, you know, a face-up Mirror Entity here. So, again, he just doesn't even want to play minions to begin with anyway. Oh, that was a pretty good one for Powder.
That could be a pretty good one for Powder. This Goblin Blast
He needs just to pick something off.
So important right now to be able to kill minions. It doesn't kill anything, and you can see he's just paid about this. He picks up a Mirror Entity to add another point of damage to this Secret Keeper. Every single point so important right now.
Wow, just a great draw here for ErA.
I don't know if I agree with this burn spell here.
No, I think I like Mirror Entity, push for damage, try to finish this off with Fireball and Frostbolt and Hero Powers.
Well, he's going to go with Mirror Entity. Hero Power is going to pick off this Goblin Blast Mage, it looks like. And ErA wants to protect his value as much as he can. Going to trade in his Sorcerer's Apprentice. This has been a drastic turn in the game suddenly for ErA, and frankly, I don't like that he's deviated from this game plan.
No, I don't like it either. I feel like the way he was going to win from here is applying as much pressure as possible. Powder has a Mirror Entity in play on his side of the board. The way you're playing this game, you're going to have to play another minion going forward from here. If he didn't trade there and push for damage, he could win this game without ever playing another minion very easily.
Yeah, I mean, he just traded in 6 points of damage where Powder just would be dead next turn. Gets his own Mirror Entity triggered, though, so Powder going to be forced to use Fireball here. And yeah, this is maybe a small turning point for ErA right now, but he has to pick up something very strong in the next couple of turns, and he needs to do it right now.
Yeah, Mana Worm, not a bad one. It's going to give Powder a Mana Worm and then give him an extra threat as well going forward from here if he wants.
Looks like he's going to fire. Finally, he's going to fireball face. And the fact that this fireball's pointed at the face right now, you know, I think that ErA would have been able to close this game out in 2 turns.
Yeah, I mean, it feels weird to me that you're going to fireball the face here and then attack this minion for 1 here and take care of this mana worm. With the way you've been playing this game, I feel like he's been deviating back and forth in what he actually wants to do.
Goblin Blast Mage cannot be activated right now. Wait a minute! Mirror Entity's going to activate the Secret Keeper here. Did he act a little bit too fast, maybe?
Well, yeah, he might have acted a little too fast because now he has to. Well, he could pick off the mana worm and leave back the 3/2.
But now the 3/2 sitting here, and ErA, this is a spot where
he's
got Rusty Horde and Black Knight.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Powder's next minion's going to be completely checked here, and the Secret Keeper being a 3/2 is applying a ton of pressure to Powder right now.
Well, that was actually a really good draw here.
The Goblin Blast Mage, this needs to kill the Secret Keeper, and it does. Powder now with a glimmer of hope to get back in this game, but ErA going to be able to swing this one back around a little bit here.
Well, he's going to be giving a Black Knight over to Powder, though, here.
But Powder's got to close this game in 5 turns now. Every single hero power matters a ton in this situation.
I mean, I gotta say, I'm not fully agreeing with the way ErA played this game in the middle here. I feel like he may have given this one away if he loses.
I mean, it could be, but he's closing in on Powder. I mean, any burn spell is a big threat.
He's already
to
used
Powder
almost
right
all
now.
of them.
He still has a fireball left, but Powder continues to be able to add pressure to this board. I have to think you got it with Archmage Antonitis at this point. Bring out the big guns.
You know, you have to run the Black Knight in here, right? You can't take the chance that something really bad for you comes out of Shredder, right?
Oh, he's going to take that chance, though. Doomsayer, Mana Wraith. So would have been able to play Archmage anyway. I do agree with you. The sequencing should have been a little bit different there. ErA picks up his own Archmage, but he has no spells to couple with this right now. And the pressure from Powder has built so heavily. How does ErA reestablish the game at this point and actually win?
Well, here's the thing. ErA's at 23. Powder has 11 power in play right now. If he draws a spell that costs 2 or less, ErA is dead.
Yeah, he can't even play the Mechanical Yeti.
Yeah, he can't give him a spare part.
Yep, so Archmage is going to be added to his board, and he has to hero power face, I think. He's not going to recover this board pressure. That hero power is aimed at the dome. Powder down to 3, but all the pressure in the world on his side right now.
Well, Cogmaster is not going to do it.
Not this turn, it won't.
Not this turn. I mean, like, he needed something that cost 2 that could allow him to get a fireball to his hand. The game would have actually been over there.
Azure Drake, this draw is important as well. I mean, any amount of pressure he continues to add to this board is, I think, very good for him at this point. This Archmage is going to kill himself in this spot. And now ErA needs a burn spell to win this game. Mirror Image is not enough in this spot. And he can't even play Mechanical Yeti. He can't give Powder a spare part at this point, or he's just dead.
Yeah, it actually makes him take more damage that way.
Are there any freeze effects in here, though? Could he, like, Mirror Image, ping Powder again, and then draw freeze effect? Is there anything he can do to survive the next 2 turns?
Okay, so if he plays the Mirror Image and he runs his 2 smallest minions into it, you still take 5, 9, 13. You're at 19. I don't know if ErA actually has an out, barring drawing the last burn spell.
I think that's, I mean, if that's the way he's got to play, that's the way he's got to play. And this hero power has to be aimed at the dome. There's nothing that does 2 in his deck, right? Yep. I don't know.
Or nothing that does 1, right?
We're going to find out. I mean, Powder.
He does have an Arcane Missiles left over, possibly, as well.
Powder does not draw the way to end this game this turn. And ErA's going to have one last draw to pick up a burn spell here.
This is so important right here. He needs this or his entire match is over.
This will decide whether or not ErA's moving on to a winning or a losing record tonight. He's down to 5, but his last draw can change everything right now. Spellbender's not going to do it, and ErA deviates from his game plan and isn't able to close in on Powder, who has 2 points of health left as he takes this match 3 games to 2.
Yeah, in any matchup like this where you get them down to 2 and you've used a burn spell in this game for anything other than going to their face, you've got to go back and look at that and be like, man, I may have messed up somewhere.
This is really, for me, a game that illustrates the importance of following through on your game plan. Once you have your footing in place, you have to keep taking those steps. You have to have very strong evidence to deviate against that. And frankly, I don't know if ErA had that evidence in that game.
Yeah, he was being very aggressive, and he was actually the one pushing in the game, but then he started to trade. That was Powder's job in the game. He took that away from him and helped him out from there.